As Burry's prophetic warnings materialize, Baum seizes the moment, unleashing a thrilling plan to sell more stocks through ingenious trances. The board members catch fire with excitement, hungry to reclaim lost profits. The adrenaline-fueled quest to unravel Burry's predictions sends them on a high-stakes chase, turning boardrooms into battlegrounds. Get ready for a financial frenzy as they navigate the unpredictable landscape of gains and losses. If you still haven't watched part 1 and 2 of the series, click the link in description and let's continue.
Lawrence and another investor demand their money back, but Burry refuses to give up on his idea. In the next scene, Baum and his team delve deeper into the housing market, meeting with a real estate agent and 2 mortgage brokers. They visit the mortgage brokers, and Baum inquires about the number of loans they write each month. The broker mentions around 60 loans. Danny follows up, asking how many of those are adjustable-rate mortgages, and the broker boasts about the majority being adjustable-rate mortgages. He further explains that people mindlessly fill out forms without caring about the numbers, primarily focusing on adjustable-rate mortgages. The broker discloses that most of those loans are for strippers, and Baum asks if they can be introduced to them. They head to a club where Baum converses with a stripper, gaining insights into the types of loans provided to specific customers. This interaction leads Baum to realize that the market is indeed a bubble. Baum calls Vinny and instructs him to call Jared and purchase $50 million in swaps. Vinny contacts Jared, expressing distrust and questioning Jared's intentions. Jared provides a satisfactory answer, and Vinny informs Jared that they are going to take $50 million, specifically Garibaldi 4BBB. The scene shifts, showing Geller and Shipley attempting to reach Ben. They eventually connect with Ben, who acknowledges the accuracy of their views on the housing market. He questions why they are calling him since he is retired. Geller explains that they need Ben's assistance to secure their ISDA and seeks help in obtaining a seat, nothing more. In the following scene, Baum walks on the road while talking with Vinny. Vinny informs Baum that mortgage defaults have surged, and he inquires if anything unusual is happening. Vinny shares the surprising news that the price of subprime mortgage bonds has risen, leaving everyone perplexed. This revelation shocks Baum. Vinny also mentions that Morgan Stanley's risk assessors are present and are trying to convince Kathy to compel them to sell their swaps. Baum instructs Vinny to enter the room calmly and politely, asking the risk assessors to leave. Baum and Vinny then meet with Georgia Hale, an officer for Standard & Poor's, questioning her about assigning AAA percentages to subprime loans. Georgia defends her actions, stating that the banks would default without those ratings. Baum criticizes her, but she fires back, noting that his team owns multiple credit default swaps. The scene shifts, and Geller and Shipley express confusion about the rising price of subprime, with Ben on the phone with them. Geller informs the group that there are only 2 possibilities. Either the banks are clueless and don't know how to value CDOs, or they are intentionally hiding the fact that CDOs are worthless. He suggests buying more swaps. On the other hand, Baum and his team converse with Jared, who states they needed time to digest what's happening and have made a deal. Baum's team reacts with loud disagreement, while Shipley tries to prevent Geller from purchasing more swaps. Following the disagreements, both Jared and Ben propose going to Vegas to learn more. The scene shifts, and both groups find themselves in Vegas. Jared advises Baum's team and Shipley's team to pull out their trades. Due to rising mortgage defaults, both teams express negative views. Baum spends his time interrogating bigwigs about their dealings, while Shipley meets with Evie, who works for the SEC, asking her if the SEC investigates mortgage bonds, to which she responds negatively. Barry becomes increasingly despondent as he discovers that bonds are not declining and the entire system is fraudulent. The scene shifts, and Geller suggests betting against the AA tranches, noting that although they claim to be 95% AAA rated, in reality, they are only 25% and some are 0%. Ben appreciates the idea, and they start dealing with many bankers. However, as Geller and Shipley celebrate, Ben reminds them that the market will eventually collapse, hurting millions of people deeply. In the next scene, Baum meets a businessman named Chow in a casino and learns that he has created synthetic CDOs, a series of increasingly risky bets in a chain of faulty loans. Baum gradually believes the economy is headed for collapse. Richard Taller and Selena Gomez explain what a synthetic CDO is by likening it to Selena winning at blackjack until she deals a bad hand, causing everyone to lose. By April 2007, everyone is preparing for the inevitable. Burry prevents investors from withdrawing their money. Meanwhile, Geller and Shipley go to the press to warn them about the collapse. Baum and his team are told to give up or sell their swaps. As predicted, by the end of 2008, the market economy has collapsed. But all those involved in the shorts have profited immensely from the swaps, although none of them are proud of it, and several banks begin shutting down because of it. Burry retires, and one of his analysts takes a new job at a 7-Eleven. The man that Danny and Collins visited earlier is now living out in a van with his wife and son. Geller and Shipley have lost faith in the system. Baum mentions a bailout happening, which Jared states is true, and that banks save their skins and blame the bad things on immigrants, the poor, and even teachers. In the next scene, Vinny tells Baum that they should sell their swaps, but Baum thinks that it will make them as bad as the banks. But Vinny says that they have to sell the swap now, otherwise they would not be of any use. Then Baum tells him to sell them all. Then in the last, they say the $5 trillion from real estate values, pension, funds, 401k savings, and bonds had disappeared after the collapse. 8 million people lost their jobs, 6 million lost their homes. And that was only in the US Mark bomb refused to say, "I told you so," and his team continued to run their funds together. After that, Geller and Jamie Shipley attempted to sue rating agencies, but were laughed out of the offices. Shipley still runs Brownfield, but Geller moved to Charlotte to start a family. Ben Rickard lives with his wife in an orchard. Michael Burry contacted the government several times to see if anyone would ask him how he predicted the collapse. Nobody responded, but he was audited 4 times by the FBI. H now only invests in water. In 2015, several large banks began selling billions in CDOs. Thanks for watching. Like the video and subscribe the channel for more videos like these.